Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Brotherhood. My name is Juan Sepulveda, here with my friend Alberto Mella. Alberto, thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for coming.
We're here once again in Alberto's house. This is probably the first time you see it, but we had a conversation here when we talked about the men who influenced us. If you haven't listened to that, I invite you to check it out. I think it was a good conversation.
Yes.
But today we're talking about another aspect of being a gentleman, and this one is having and retaining friends. And in particular, I wanted to talk about curating friends. I'm an artist by trade, so the analogy and the allegory of collecting and displaying friends might sound a little bit strange, but if you think about it, a museum is curated or organized with a specific collection that suits the theme, that it conveys a message, that it serves a purpose to fulfill a larger vision. And that's kind of what we do when we actually find people in life to befriend. With a planet that has 7+ billion people in the world, you can't be everyone's friend. You need to be selective about the people you surround yourself with. And hopefully tonight what we're going to do is actually go through a series of tips that are going to help you find the right people to surround yourself with, and people that are going to help you thrive and succeed in life. This is important because you want to be able to be a good gentleman, to be a good man. You want to be able to fulfill your mission in life if you know what this is. And surrounding yourself with the right people is going to make it not just more realistic, but more fulfilling in the process. The first tip that we came up with is know your value. Now, it is important that you know what is it that you bring to a relationship. What is it that you bring to a friendship? I would like to ask you in particular, have you ever taken the time to think, like, what is it that you contribute to a friendship?
Yeah, there's there's a famous quote by Einstein, and I'm paraphrasing here. He says, look to become not a person of success, but a man of value. To add value. What is it that you bring to a relationship? Because in the opposite is also true, because you're looking for that person that brings value into your life. You have to be able to give something of yourself to them. And what I always bring is, first and foremost, is loyalty. Like, I will be loyal to you and tell it to you like it is. Like, mind you, some of us have a different set of skills, right? You might have a friend who's a doctor. You might have a friend who's a financial advisor. Those are talents, those are skills, and we all bring that to the table. But bottom line is that you need to be somebody. You need to be someone that other people want to be with. Somebody that other people want to be with. Nobody's shunning you away. Nobody's kicking you out. You want to be there. You want to be loyal. You want to be a good listener. And those two characteristics will place you in a place of in a position of value in any circle you go.
That's good that you've taken the time to actually think about, like, what it is that your value is. I've taken some time to think about that, and I am an optimist. I'm very positive, and I'm very ambitious. So I think that one of the values that I bring to a friendship is I'm that person that can listen to you and can help you perhaps think about different things from a new perspective, to be optimistic, to also be realist about the obstacles that you can find. My good friend Victor, he and I, we have often conversations about, the different plans we have for our lives, the different things, different challenges that we have, and there is a give and take. Whenever we speak, we have that moments where I'm listening to, and I'm actually giving him an opportunity to convey whatever it is he's trying to express, and then I can give back some of my value when it comes to perhaps coming up with a strategy or thinking about something from a more optimistic kind of way, or more realistic kind of way that is going to help them take the steps to achieve whatever he's trying to achieve. So knowing this, knowing that this is my value and you knowing what your value is, whenever you're getting to know someone, you can actually see if there's a fit there, And for example, me being an optimist or someone who is, has high expectations of life and, of my relationships and career and all that. If I come across someone who doesn't value that asset, it could become a point of friction. So if it's someone who is completely pessimistic, someone who it doesn't matter what you tell them about.
An emotional vampire.
Yes. It's exhausting.
Yes.
And it's not a good fit. And recognizing this early in an interaction with someone else can save you a lot of time, false expectations, and things like that.
And heartache, yes.
And heartache. So, first of all, know what your value is. And, that can help you then find a good fit as a friend. Now, mind you, when we compile this list and we talk about having tips to finding friends, you probably have a lot of friends. You could have just very few friends, but this is something that applies to pretty much anybody. Whether you're looking for friends, whether you're looking to curate the number of people or the quality of people that surround you, you can find some of these tips helpful. The second tip that we came with is, what are your needs? What are the areas of your life in which you need some sort of support, some sort of help? You need some sort of complement in order for you to be a more perfect organism. Mm-hmm. We're not in this alone.
Yes.
So, have you ever found yourself in a way where you actually find someone who actually compliments you, and then you are able to have a good friendship with?
Yeah, no, that's a perfect way to put it. I am driven. But I am driven in many different directions.
Okay.
I am driven in many different directions. Like you speak 5 minutes with my wife, and she will tear your ear off about how many directions I go. So I always look for friendships and relationships that center me, that tend to focus you. Mm-hmm. You start talking about books, and then you go about painting. They can come back and go like, wait, tell me about that book again. I like that. They're like, okay, without knowing, I just moved into a different subject matter, mm-hmm. and this person just got me right back in it. Perfect, no problem. We have ideas all the time, and then I have good friends that I just pick up the phone. I go like, can I bounce something off you? This is what I want to do. I have a good friend, and I hope you watch. This is Ramon. Little shout out to my friend Ramon. He calls it. He says that I have the saving the world disease. It's that I want to do too much and do it too big, and then he will bring me down. He will bring me down. Okay, this is where you start. I go like, okay, yes, here we go. So yeah, no, I completely understand and will encourage that you always, first of all, know yourself. Know yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You know exactly what you're good at. You know exactly what you really okay. So just find someone, surround yourself with people that will take care of your blind side, that will take care of that area that you are not very good at, and that will complement you, mm-hmm. and that will make you whole.
Yeah, you bring something to mind. My wife is also a good friend of mine. She's the best friend, obviously.
She'll be watching this.
Yes, she's going to watch this. And I'm a dreamer. So I have some lofty goals, and I have these huge ideas that may be attainable, but they are attainable at the expense of things that are not complete, and steps that perhaps need to be done before I can set my sights on something loftier. So one way in which she compliments me is that she also grounds me. She brings me down and reminds me, well, how are you doing in this other aspect? How are you doing in this previous step? Have you made any progress in that? And it might be naive, or it might be a short sight of mine to think that I can actually shoot for this other loftier goal by losing sight of this previous one that is going to be instrumental in making that next one succeed. So she gives me that focus that I need to recalibrate my sights and then have an action plan so that I can make this one venture, for example, succeed, that I can bring it to its completion, so that I can bring a painting to its final signature. And that then opens up opportunity. It opens up, it relieves me of whatever pressure I have, and now I have a better chance at actually reaching that. So looking for people that do that for you, that complement you, that's going to be another important tip in actually being able to curate your friends. The next one in the list is your interest. Know what interests you the most. I know that you like a lot of different things.
I just said it.
And I like a lot of different things. Fortunately, we like a lot of very similar things.
Yes.
But not everybody knows exactly what it is that they really enjoy.
Right.
They might have an idea.
Right.
They might have an inclination towards what it is that they like. And why would you say it's important that someone really knows what they're interested in when it comes to curating their friendship?
Well, yeah. Keep in mind that we're not trying to tell you that to find one friend, right? It's find somebody. When it comes to your interest, we divide it into, let's say, mind, body, and soul, right? So you have somebody that it's intellectually pleasing to you to have conversations with this individual. They like the same books you like. They like the same subject matters you like, whether it is religion, politics, whatever it is. They hit you up here,
yeah,
in a good way, and you like spending time with them for that. You have your workout partner. Yeah, you go working out with running, cycling, martial arts, whatever you do. You have this person with who you can have these conversations with, right? If you're doing boxing, or this is the person you have these conversations with. Your sports friends. You're always doing this. And then you have your spiritual guru, right? Whether you're religious or not. There's that person that is always trying to align your chakras and giving you advice about, I don't know, tea, candles, whatever it is. But you have that person, and I've been lucky in my life because I have a person for every subject matter that I want to tackle. Like you were saying, that we have so many different things that we like. I can put a finger on a person that I want to talk something with. If I want to talk yoga, I know where to go. If I want to talk business, I know where to go. I want to talk Spanish literature. I know where to go. Yeah. Art.
Yep.
So it is, and that's what you do. Yeah. You find your interest, and you think about that person, that when that interest comes to the front, is the person you're like conversing with.
I had a good friend who, we connected it at a lot of different levels. So we could have conversations about history and science and metaphysical things, and it would be very stimulating conversations. And every now and then he would try to talk to me about like some fiction superhero, or he was big into comics and that sort of stuff. Like, you would have had some really good conversations with him. But I had to remind him, it's like, I'm not that friend. Like, that's not something I'm
You lost
very
me there,
not something that I'm very interested in. If it fits the conversation, that's one thing. But if you're trying to get me into manga, it's just not really going to work very much. But recognizing that there is a different interest that you have, and there are people out there that can complement them. You and I are very passionate about public speaking, about that sort of public interaction, networking, and you and I have very good conversations related to that topic. And it is important that if you have a specific interest that not everyone is going to share with you, that you find someone who is going to be reciprocal with you, someone in whom you're not going to waste your energy, and someone in whom you're not going to waste your time, and they might be polite and listen, but at the end there wasn't really a connection because you're not jiving in that same wavelength.
So it's all about time management too. You don't like your time to be wasted. Time is your most valuable asset. What makes rich people and poor people the same under the eye of God is time. We all have the same 24 hours a day. So you don't want to waste somebody else's time. You don't want your time to be wasted.
That's right.
So just make sure that when you're having this interaction, you understand each other.
Absolutely. The next tip is for you to recognize the mobility of the relationship. What I mean by that is that there are people who are anchors and there are people who are sails. Yeah. And a typical anchor is someone who will hold you back. Someone who perhaps is pessimistic, who is a drama enthusiast, and not the theatrical kind. Someone who's always getting upset or always being offended by things. This kind of individual can really put a dampener in your progress. And by this, I don't mean you to be heartless. I don't intend to suggest that you completely turn your back on old friends that may have these traits. Just be mindful of what it is that they do that makes them an anchor. It could be just in one area of your of the connections that you have with them, but just be mindful that some people are going to hold you back, are going to hold you down, and these are people that you have different options. You can eliminate them from your life, which could be harsh, but sometimes it's necessary. You can reduce the amount of time that you spend with them. That's another more sensible thing. The other thing you can do is you can be selective of the things you spend time with them.
There you go.
Because they could be great, drinking buddies.
So, and well,
Maybe not.
Not only that, but sometimes you need a reality check. Not every time. So I tell my kids that there is no such thing as a bad decision. There's an informed decision and an uninformed decision. This anchor type people will tell you everything about what can go wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that's information, all right? So now we go find somebody that can tell me everything that can go right, and I can make an informed decision having both sides. And who can tell me what to do right? The people that we call the sales.
That's right. These are people who are actually going to help you materialize things in life. These are the people that are going to put the wind on your sails. They're going to help you take that enthusiasm you have for something, and they're going to motivate you to take it a step further, for you to continue moving forward with it. And these are people that you want to spend time with. If you're in any kind of business, if you're in the corporate world and you're trying to advance in your career, or even if it's a relationship, you want to surround yourself with more of this type of people that are going to actually put the wind behind your sail and help you propel forward. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a friend or an acquaintance who is either one of these two types?
I have them both.
You have them both?
I have them both because, and again, this is going to when I want to make a decision and I am on the fence, I said, there's something I'm not seeing. Then I'll go to my anchor, because I know that that person is going to tell me everything that's wrong with my plan. Everything that's wrong with my plan. I want to buy a building. I don't know. I want to start a new business. I said, this person is going to tell me everything that can go wrong with this. And then I will ask, well, is there something that can go right? And they said, brother, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then I will call my sale. I go like, hey, bro, I have this idea for a business. Oh my God, I'm in. I'm with you. Do you need money? Do you need people? What do you need? Let's do it. And now I have my two sides of the coin, and then I can make an informed decision. I can make a very good informed decision.
I like that. That's a very fresh perspective for me, because I try to distance myself from people that are anchors, and it has been part of my history, and compiling this list of tips also helps us become aware of different things like that. I've never seen it like that. I always see it like I put people that are anchors, I keep them at bay, completely separate from me. But you're right. Like they could have something not positive. They could have something negative to contribute to the conversation. And if I am receptive enough to recognize it, then I can use that information to make a better decision.
Yeah.
I like that.
Quick example. Hey, this past weekend I called somebody. I had an idea to go to another country and start a delivery business. Okay. No, you don't want to do that, because the delivery system, there's already people doing that, and they're going to charge you, and the market competes and whatnot. And then I asked the question that will flip it on its head. Then what would you do? Oh, I will sell tires. I said, you will sell tires? And how will you deliver them? ... So it's not to put them on the spot, but at least now I know everything on how that delivery business will work. And now all I have to do, and what I did was I called a sale that is also into logistics, and he told me how the business would work. So now I can make an informed decision.
I like that. It shows the value that you can get out of having a collection of friends.
Yeah.
And I catch myself anytime I say collection. It almost makes friends sound like objects, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, but you are you're part of somebody else's collection.
That's true.
Yeah, so
That's true.
Semantics.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, semantics.
Right? So the next tip that we have is manage your expectations. And here, this was one that informs pretty much all the other ones that we've discussed before. For example, if you want to have clarity, it is crucial that you have clarity, that you know what you are going to expect from someone else and what they should expect from you. I had a situation happen a couple of years ago where I met this man and we connected. Like I liked him. He's like, this is a cool guy. I like how, the quality of the work that he does. And there were a lot of aspects of him that I really admired. And I thought, this would be a good person to be friends with. And then one thing started happening is that he started calling me on the phone more often than I am used to. Because, my best friend doesn't call me as often. I don't need to be constantly talking to someone. And I recognize that this individual, his expectations of friends include often, points of contact to talk on the phone. That is just not my style. It's not something, I'm just not like that. So I thought, in the interest of keeping a good friendship with this person, I need to let him know that that's not what I'm not usually like that. So of course, I could have been a jerk and said, "Hey, why are you calling me so much? Like, why are you so needy?" Right? It might not be anything related to needs, but that's how, I could have gone that way. Instead, I said, "Hey, listen, I noticed that you called me a couple of times yesterday, and I wasn't able to, speak with you. I'm normally not on the phone very much. It's very rare for you to call me and for me to be available and in the right mindset to actually engage in a conversation.
That's the key right there.
So if you need to speak with me, can you send me a quick message? Because I could be sitting down recording a podcast. I could be meeting with a client, or I could be, doing a painting, and I don't want to be necessarily engaging in a conversation at the moment. Just send me a text message. As soon as I'm available, I'll give you a call back." But I wanted to, in a tactful way, explain to him, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's that I just don't talk to people that often. So it's not personal. It's like I don't want to speak with you. That's not it. I'm usually not on the phone. I'm usually doing different things face to face or in solitude. And at the moment, I rather keep it that way,
Well, yeah, because those are your expectations,
Exactly.
right? That you need to put your cards on the table. This is what if this is what you want out of this relationship, this is what I want out of the relationship. How do you communicate that? You don't have to be a jerk about it. Juan just told you. You don't have to be a jerk about it. You just have to put your cards on the table. And this is not me. If you wanna call me all the time to, I don't know, cry about something, I am not that person.
Yeah.
I am not it.
Yep, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
So the sixth and final tip that we have for you in curating your friends is to prepare your mindset. And this comes out of a conversation I had with my friend Victor, where he said, "Juan, friends come to you for a season, for a reason,
And for life.
or for life." And recognizing which one of those people are and having peace with that is crucial. Especially if you build a bond with someone and you start falling out of touch with them. It could be that this friendship is just for a season. This is just a friendship that was good to have for a certain amount of time. And your interests might have diverged. They might have gone into different ways that
Yes.
are no longer as asynchronous as they might have once been. So having that mindset where you understand what kind of friend this is can help you not only really embrace the time you spend with your friends as you have them and in different areas, but also when it's time for you to move on and for you to spend less time with someone, you can make peace with the fact that this friendship served its purpose. You can still be friends, but perhaps not as close as before, and perhaps not in as regular contact as you used to be. But it gives you a peace for you to move on and continue paying attention to the other areas of your collection.
Yeah, your collection. No,
I
absolutely right.
insist.
Absolutely right. And some of you right now are probably thinking about that friend that is everything that you don't like, that is everything that you are not, and yet this person is still in your life. Well, that's okay. That for whatever reason, it is your childhood friend. You grew up with this person. You have life experiences together, and you are still together. Well, don't say no to that. It's not. We're not here advocating for you to cut that guy out, cut that gal out. That is what life friendships are.
Yep.
Yeah,
and these tips are, we bring them to you to help you optimize the human relationship that you will have with other people. If you spend any time online, on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you can see how sometimes people can be very vitriolic, and they can be very negative in their interactions with other human beings. And part of what we want to do with the Gentleman's Brotherhood is shine a light on the fact that human connection is very important in a person-to-person, face-to-face level, but also in digital interactions. You're still interacting with another person who has sensibilities, who has emotions, who has dreams and hopes. And ideally, some of these tips, they resonate with you, and you're able to solidify friendships. You're able to find new friendships and have an overall more wholesome friends experience. Because whether you like it or not, we are not designed to live in solitude.
No.
The human animal it thrives in the group. It thrives in the community. And at the moment, you can find some negativity in many communities, but it is part of our goal. It's part of our endeavor to actually foster the positivity and that good progress in forging some good relationships.
Oh, definitely.
So,
my friend,
to good friends,
to good friends,
and to making sure that your collection of friends is well curated. Remember, a friend can be for a season, for a reason, or for life.
For life.
And for the majority of time, it's really up to you. So if you foster that relationship, it can be for life. So,
cool.
Thank you very much again for this nice conversation. I had a blast.
Thank you. Now you're going to have the rum.
No, I've been having it, so. So again, thank you for being a part of the Gentleman's Brotherhood. And until next time, I wish you courage, courtesy, and curated friendships. Salud.
Salud.